talk about finding Nina. Nina was not missing. First things first, who is the makeup artist? Who is the makeup artist? Truthfully, if Finding Nina was about Abdul, it would have been more interesting and easier to connect. That young boy made Finding Nina really interesting. The cinematography of this movie was awesome. The drone shots, oh my God. Finding Nina is one of those movies that gave me joy on the fact that it felt so refreshing listening to those Hausa music. There's actually a saying in the movie that goes, a chicken dies of hunger while laying on a bag of food. That is exactly what happened to Finding Nina. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nollywood Insiders. My name is New Heaven Abraham, and as always, it is a pleasure to be here. Today, I will be reviewing the movie Finding Nina. It's basically bordered around the life of a young man who is from the northern part of Nigeria but lives in Lagos. He wasn't really comfortable with how the northern part of Nigeria is being depicted in pictures and videos, how it seems like they are, swamped in poverty. He felt that there is so much more to the northern part of Nigeria, and he decided to go take pictures and show the world that it's not how they think or perceive it is. And then in the verge of doing that, he finds old-time friend who he said he has a special connection with, trying to fall in love with her, and then feels like, oh, this isn't really what he wants. There's a lady in Lagos who he truly loves, and then there is this young boy called Abdul. He sees himself in him. He tries to implement the photography. The truth is, Finding Nina it's more like picking from a lot of stories and not really focusing on one. That is basically the storyline for Finding Nina. I'm going to talk about the things that I really liked about the movie, but before then, let us talk about some aspects of the movie that didn't really sit well with me. First things first, I did not enjoy the performances of some of the actors in this movie. And I must say, I don't know if the director, Famous, is not really a second take person. As in, when someone reads a line or, takes a line and they didn't do it well, I think it's okay to retake it. When someone stutters while taking a line, it's okay, retake it. There were some lines in the movie where I would have expected that this line would be retaken so as it would be clear. Next up, I didn't like the performance of the protagonist, that is the main actor of this movie, and that is Abdularim Ibrahim. He played the character Jabir, known for JB. He was a bit stiff. It wasn't really expressive. I feel like he should have, loosened out the more. I didn't feel it for him. I could not connect with his character. I don't know why he was chosen for this role. I feel like the director or the producers were looking for someone who is actually from Hausa land. But no, he didn't do a good job. I could not connect. I could not. So next up, what I didn't like is the fact that I could not pinpoint what exactly the story was about, because it talks about a love triangle, talks about how they are trying to change the narrative on the northern part of Nigeria. It talks about quite a number of things, and the truth is, it didn't even do justice to any one of them. There's actually a saying in the movie that goes, a chicken dies of hunger while laying on a bag of food. That is exactly what happened to Finding Nina. It's laying on a bag of ideas, but then it harnesses none of them. And let us talk about Finding Nina. Nina was not missing. JB was not actually searching. He eventually just saw her and then remembered the good old days and felt, oh, I really need to find her now and connect with her and blah, blah, blah. When you hear the name Finding Nina, you think somebody was kidnapped, you think somebody was missing, you think somebody had died or something really bad. It basically wasn't. The story writers did not pinpoint where exactly this story was going to, and it is heartbreaking due to the fact that there were 4 screenwriters on this movie. How is it that 4 people came together to write something and then it is scattered? I think one person said, okay, this is my idea. The other person said, this is my idea, this is my idea. So let's jam all of them together. And they ended up not, really harnessing at least one of it. Nah, it wasn't good. One of the things reasons that the movie Finding Nina was, trying to pinpoint is the fact that the northern part of Nigeria has this narrative where it seems like they are poor, they are wretched, nothing really good comes out of them. I think one of the reasons why they shot Finding Nina was they were trying to change the narrative. But guess what? They did not change the narrative. You're trying to tell the world that the northern part of Nigeria does not have only beggars, people wallowing in poverty, bad roads and stuff, that it has beautiful places. But guess what? I didn't see any beautiful place. JB still ends up taking pictures of beggars, bad road, dilapidated roads, nothing really fancy, nothing really special. I don't think that aspect of the movie was taken seriously. And then he's telling Nina that, oh, I and Abdul, we've gone to all the exotic places. And I'm like, wait, did I miss any scene? Should I go back? Because I'm looking for the exotic scene I didn't see. So you don't tell us, oh, I and Abdul has gone to all the exotic places, but none of the scenes has any exotic places. It didn't sit well with me at all. So basically, the lack of consistency in the storyline made it difficult to connect when you're watching this movie. You're trying to connect with the romantic aspect and then something else comes up. You're trying to connect with it, something else comes up. Your emotions are not pinpointed towards a particular place. So it's not a good feeling to have when watching a movie. So there was a scene where Jabir was beaten up by area boys in the north, and truth be told, I don't know how that adds or subtracts from the storyline. Before then, there was literally nothing like that. After that scene, there was nothing else. There was no continuation. I was wondering, okay, what is the essence of this scene? Why was it important to shoot it? What was the consequences for what they had done to Jabir? Absolutely nothing. It just feels like it was a scene shot to add up to the story and make it just wasn't reasonable for me in the movie Finding Nina. So basically, the writers, the producers, and the director of Finding Nina could have done better. Firstly, by changing the name, because like I said, Nina was not missing and nobody was finding her until he mistakenly saw her. So it's not like he's been looking for her all his life and stuff like that. So Finding Nina, no, something else would have been better. So what is it about the movie that I really liked? First things first, who is the makeup artist? Who is the makeup artist? She did a phenomenal job. And also the cinematography of this movie was awesome. The drone shots, oh my God, it was so beautiful. And then the color grading. There's this room view. I don't know how they were able to get that light to be balanced like that, but it was so beautiful to watch. I basically had to pause and just admire the view. It was beautiful. I don't know how they set that light and stuff, but it was awesome. That is a good job well done to the cinematographers, set design, and yeah, it was really awesome to watch. I've said it about twice that I've always wanted to have other ethnic groups in Nigeria shoot movies that are mainstream, and Finding Nina was awesome for me due to the fact that majority of the language spoken in the movie is Hausa, and I feel like it's a welcome development. We need more of it. Other tribes, please let's do mainstream movies promoting our different cultures and heritage. About the sound design, oh, I love it. It felt so refreshing listening to those Hausa music, Hausa soundtrack. It was so beautiful and refreshing to my ears. I really love that aspect of the movie. And that is one of the reasons why I say we need more of our ethnic groups showcasing all aspects of their culture to the world. The character Abdul was played by Ahmed Issa. I love that young boy. For me, I would say that his performance is my favorite in the movie Finding Nina because he could feel originality. There was a scene where he was speaking English, destroying, in fact, he was murdering the English language, and I loved it. He was so calm right in front of the camera. He was really good. You could feel his reactions, his facial expressions. That young boy made Finding Nina really interesting, and I didn't like the fact that his character was not explored. We didn't see more of him, and truthfully, if Finding Nina was about Abdul, it would have been more interesting and easier to connect. But you see, JB, nah, I didn't connect. Nah. So there was a riot in the movie that had taken the lives of quite a number of people, but I don't understand what riots, who was involved, what was the cause, when did it happen? There was no background backstory to it. Like, we, the viewers, were automatically supposed to know what the riot was. It wasn't really a good part of the story. If you're going to tell us about a riot, at least the least you can do is to give us a backstory to it. So my rating for the movie Finding Nina is not a solid, but it is a 5/10 for the cultural heritage that we were shown, for Abdul's performance, for the color grading, and the amazing sound design. I will be giving the movie a 5/10. But then, Mr. Famous Director, next time you want to shoot a movie, please have a standard and a single storyline that everything boils down to, and not just sit on a bunch of ideas and not harness even one of them.